Dude, do you know that there's a new Bill and Ted film? Hi guys, this is DPX. Welcome to a new movie review. Today we're reviewing Bill and Ted Face the Music. Now this review is a bit late. The movie came out in theaters and on VOD on the 28th. But on that day, I had never seen any of the Bill and Ted films. But I had watched all three of them in the span of 2 nights. So I obviously didn't grow up with the movies. So this is from someone who had just seen them. But, the first one's fantastic. The second one's still good, but not as good. The third one, let's find out what I think. Hi guys, DPX here, reviewing today Bill and Ted Face the Music. Although I already said that. Before we get started though, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to turn notifications, and leave a comment, and you'll be a loyal subscriber. So, in case you're unsure, Bill and Ted, the first one's basically about two, teenagers that, want to be rock stars, but they're failing history, and then they learn to time travel, and they bring a bunch of historical figures, and yeah, and then the second one, Bogus Journey, is about them dying, but then coming back and dealing with robot versions of themselves. This one takes place 30 years later, because this came out 30 years later, and we got Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter returning as Bill and Ted, playing dads, by the way. And luckily, my first praise is that it still feels like them, Their daughters are here. They have daughters now. There's Samara Weaving and Bridget Lundy Payne. Well, I was actually kind of afraid they wouldn't really be, not bad, but just not really stand out. But they're really good in this. They're literally just younger versions of Bill and Ted. But that's really cool. Basically, what this is about is Bill and Ted still haven't, done their song to unite the world. So they go through other, time periods or more years to see what the deal is. One of my main problems, though, is that there's a little too much going on, as in, plot lines. You got the one plot line with Bill and Ted, finding other versions of themselves. And that stuff actually was pretty funny, there's even one point where they get to themselves and they're all, jacked and they're in prison, and it's pretty funny. Then there's the other plot line with the daughters going back in time and trying to get historical musicians to perform a band. But then there's another plot line with the wives trying to travel between timelines and finding which one they're happiest. Then there's this robot character that's trying to kill Bill and Ted, and there's just a lot going on. That's probably my main issue with this movie. There's just a lot that goes on, a little too much, and some of the plot lines sort of just resolve just randomly. The one with the wives specifically just ends with a line of dialogue and they move on. So that happened. One thing I do like about this film, I didn't grow up with Bill and Ted, so the nostalgia that I'm sure most people felt, I didn't feel it, but that's because I just watched the first two the day before watching this one. So I still really liked it, but one thing I was worried about was this becoming, cringy, as in, the music is, cringy music, some bad music. I'm not saying all music is bad today, but there are definitely some stinkers today, and it focuses on that, and there'll be, jokes flossing or stuff like that. I was afraid, maybe not specifically flossing, but I was afraid just humor like that would be in this movie, and luckily it wasn't. It really does feel like Bill and Ted just in their 50s. Also, I wasn't the biggest fan of Bogus Journey, but Probably my favorite part of it was Death, played by William Sadler. I don't know, it was just funny to just see the fucking Grim Reaper running around with Bill and Ted and performing in a band and just saying stuff, getting beaten in Twister. Yeah, definitely my favorite part of the Bogus Journey. And he actually returned in this. And it was pretty cool. But trying to get him to join the band was like another plot line. A short plot line. It wasn't one of the main plot lines, although it was important. But still, it sort of was just shoved in there. But, you know, I'm happy he's back, because, I mean, he's the best part of Bogus Journey, in my opinion. There's also a really nice scene where Bill and Ted go into the future, like, far into the future, and see themselves. I don't want to give anything away, but, like, it's a nice scene, and, you know, it's nice. I don't really have much to say about this one. I don't know. I within like the last week, like a week ago, I had never seen any of these 3 films, and now I've seen all 3 of them. So my perspective on this film is going to be a bit different from someone who grew up with the first 2. And even then, the first 2, like, they weren't monumental. I just think the first one is such a unique concept, or at least a simple concept done in a very unique and charming way. The second one was not that bad, but it just didn't capture the charm of the first one. I don't know, I think I might actually like this better than the second one. I don't know. You know, it did what it was supposed to do. It's a Bill and Ted film. It's not cringe, and it could have very well been very cringy, but it's not. And to be honest, I don't think I'll really be talking about this after this review. I don't know. This is sort of one of those movies where it's just like, comes out, you watch it, you like it, or maybe you don't, but in this case I like it, and you move on. That's all. Nothing bad about it, it's fine. I liked it. Yeah, this one was kind of short, but in conclusion, Bill and Ted Face the Music is good. I like it. Not something I'll be, you know, telling everyone about. If this is your kind of thing, then yeah, you should watch it. You should definitely watch the first 2 first. A lot of the stuff won't make any sense in this. Not that as, like, you know, big lore you gotta understand, but just, you know, to better appreciate this film, you just gotta watch the first 2. You know, it does more good than bad. It's just not a movie I'll really be thinking about after this review. But that's fine. It doesn't need to be like the best movie ever. It's a good movie. That's why I give Bill and Ted Face the Music a 7.5 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Bill and Ted Face the Music. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you like this film? Do you not like this film? Did you see the film? Did you not see the film? Do you want to see the film? Or do you not care? Do you even know what Bill and Ted is? I hardly knew. In fact, I only knew about it before this because of the Angry Video Game Nerd. So, yeah. Anyways, be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.